Hello, my name is Ben Sayer. In this video, I'm going to show you how to search and contribute to the commons of free obituaries online. Open up a browser and point it to freeobituariesfound.org. And on this page, you'll find a search field. And if you enter a search term in there and press the search button, you'll get a search results returned for any obituaries that contain that name. If you add more than one name, for instance, if we were to type Warren Smith, since it matches this obituary, and press search, we still get the same results returned because the search names are inclusive. So if it'll return any obituary that contains any one or more of these terms. So this Smith obituary is returned here. If we want to make that more exclusive, we can include the death year, because that will limit that part of the search is exclusive, so it'll only contain that search year. So if we were looking for a Warren Smith that died in 1975, by entering 1975 on this in the search terms and pressing search, then only that obituary will be returned. And for any of these obituaries, if we click that link for that obituary, it'll bring up the page that shows either the abstract or a transcript, or perhaps even an original, because you can submit an original obituary that you write. So this right here will show you that this is an abstract of the obituary, and this is the abstract here. And then it shows what surnames are present in that obituary abstract, and then also the source of that obituary. If you're interested in seeing the obituaries returned just from a specific year, you could do that too. I'll press search, and these are all of the obituaries that I've entered so far from 1851 New York Times. So for any one of these, we could select that obituary and it will return that. Here's a transcript. Because it's 1851, it's before copyrights, so the actual full text of the obituary is present here. So we can see that this person, Benoni Lockwood, died at the residence of a man named Samuel Karp in Bombay, India. And that obituary information is captured here free for everyone to use now and in the future. So that's how you search. Let me show you how easy it is to contribute an obituary. Now, as I said, you can contribute an original obituary, or you can contribute a transcript or an abstract. If the the obituary that you're entering is protected by copyright, then you're going to want to abstract it. And I've created a video previously on how to abstract an obituary, so have a look at that. Otherwise, if you know that it's free of copyright, you can simply transcribe it. So I've got here a little text file with a couple of obituaries that I have previously abstracted. These are both abstracts, one from 2000 and the other from 2010. And I want to enter those abstracts here so that other people can benefit from them. So the first thing that I'm going to do is grab the text of the abstract and copy that, and then note the name of the individual that we are entering the obituary. The subject of the obituary is Bernard Benjamin. So I'm back on the home page of Free Obituaries Found, and we've got this Contribute an Obituary little mini form here. And so let's enter, you can actually enter the surname first, followed by a comma, and then any of the other given names after that. In this case, I'm going to do it just straight away, just as it is in the obituary, Dr. Bernard Benjamin. And let's have a look at the death date. He died on the 1st of January 2000. and I'll click the next button. And now this is telling me, hey, you're not signed in, so if this is the first time that you've used Free Obituaries Found, you're going to want to enter a Google ID, and if you don't have one, you can create an account by clicking here on Create an Account. It's free, and you don't have to have a Gmail account. It doesn't have to create that. It's just a Google account that is used to federate your login. And so I already have one, so I'm just going to enter in my password and click Sign In. And that will redirect me to the Contribute form. And you can see it's got the name that I entered here and the death date here. Now, had I entered in the surname followed by a comma and then the given names, it would have populated this surnames field for me automatically. But in this case, I'm going to need to enter in the surname, Benjamin, and the death place. Actually, I've copied the text, so I'm going to paste it down here first. So now we can look in here and see it says he's from Brooklyn, New York, but it doesn't say that he died there. So I'm going to leave the death place blank. And then I'm going to want to scan through here and identify any of the surnames that are mentioned in this abstract. And so we know that Benjamin is one, and this also would have been populated with that surname had we entered the surname first, followed by a comma on that first form. So we've got Dr. Benjamin, and let's see, Helen Benjamin, his wife. It's got her maiden name there, so we'll want to include that. Here's the maiden name, Hofstadter. And then Robert Benjamin, his son, and Ann Goldblatt, so we'll enter Goldblatt, and 4 grandchildren. Okay, and then we want to do this similarly with the given names. So we know we've got Bernard, the subject of the obituary, and then we also have his former wife, Professor Helen Benjamin, his wife Marjorie, and Robert, his son, and Anne, from Ann Goldblatt. And then we'll select the contribution type, which is an abstract, and then we're going to enter source information. I've captured that up here so it's handy. This is the source. It's the New York Times, and I'm going to copy this part of this because this is going to be the detail, the citation detail. So the publication is the New York Times. The publisher of that New York Times is the New York Times Company. And they're in New York. New York. And the publication date was 2000. And the citation detail I'm going to paste in here. And I'm going to check the box because I have read the terms and conditions, which briefly is that since I've written this abstract, I'm acknowledging that I'm contributing this text that I've written of the abstract to the public domain so that anyone can use it. And I'm going to click Contribute. And now if we search for Benjamin, we will find that obituary that we just wrote. And there it is. So let's enter one more. I want to show you this one because it has a different source, and but it's still very similar. So this is an abstract that I wrote from an online obituary, from an online newspaper. This previous one was from an image at Ancestry.com, which is why the source citation was formatted the way that it was. So I've got this text of this abstract highlighted, and it's for Ruth Nichols Mason, Ruth E. Nichols Mason. So I'm going to go over here and type Mason, and then Nichols, and then actually her maiden name was Sayer, Ruth E. And her death date is 8 November 2010. And press next. And the death place listed was the Sylvania Care and Rehabilitation Center in Sylvania, Ohio. So I've already got that text selected, all of that abstract selected, so I'm going to paste it into the text section. I'm actually going to change this because this is not correct. I'm going to put in her maiden name here, and then this is her previous married name, and then the married name she had when she passed. In any case, I'm going to copy Sylvania, Ohio, and paste that into the death place. And I'm going to add USA to the end. You could enter the Sylvania Care and Rehabilitation Center, but people are unlikely to be searching for that, so that's not really all that helpful. And now we'll go down here, and you can see that Mason, Nichols, and Sayer have all been entered into the surnames mentioned for you automatically, as they were up here on surnames. So that's a good reason to enter the name this way, with the surnames first, followed by a comma, and then the given names. Just saves you a little bit of typing. And we want to put this so that we can see the obituary text and the following fields. So we want to enter the given names that are mentioned and check the surnames that are mentioned before I go along here. So let's see if it mentions any other ones. So it mentions her mother's maiden name, which was Dussel, so we'll add that. And then let's see, the Michael Pollock Funeral Home. We don't need to enter Pollock. And then her son's name, David Nichols, and we already have Nichols captured, so we don't need that. So we're going to enter the given name of Ruth, and we'll add John for her father, and her mother's given name, and her son's first name, David. So we've captured all of those, and this is an abstract. And let's go get our source information here. So the publisher is the Daily Telegram. So we'll paste that into here. And the publisher address is Adrian, Michigan. And this is the date published. And then I'm going to copy this rest of this and access November 2010 to the citation detail. And then I'm going to copy this link to the actual online obituary and paste it into the link address, the link field, and check the box because I am contributing this abstract that I wrote to the public domain, and I know that it is not copyrighted. So I'm going to click Contribute, and then if we type Sayer in the search, or Mason, or Nichols, or Dussel, then this abstract will be returned. And you can see here the text of the abstract and the source information. And it's as easy as that to search for freely available and freely usable obituaries online, and also to contribute yours to better the information, the commons of obituaries that are available to genealogists.